Hello everyone, this is Debbie from healingfrombpd.org. Welcome to my blog. For those of you who have been reading my blog for a while, you can finally put a face to the words. It's a risk that I'm taking, I realize, because I've worked really hard to maintain my confidentiality, but little by little I've been coming out of my shell. A lot of it has to do with wanting to not feed into stigmas. This is Frankie, by the way. He's one of my cats. Hello! Not wanting to feed into the stigmas that this is something that we should be ashamed of or, feel badly about. So I have borderline personality disorder. And I also, from time to time, suffer from anxiety and depression. And I have a diagnosis of OCD, but it's really in remission. I had taken years of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and had gotten much better, which is why I had so much hope and faith going into dialectical behavior treatment, DBT, which is the treatment of choice for people with borderline personality disorder. And it has been life-changing for me. I just want to tell you, if you are feeling hopeless, if you are feeling like you've tried everything and nothing has worked and you're wondering if it's ever going to get better, please hold on. Please check out dialectical behavior therapy, because I know that's how I felt when I ended up in crisis and finally received the correct diagnosis and started to go to treatment. And I would go to treatment, and at first it didn't feel like anything was getting any better. It didn't feel like anything was making a difference. But if you stick with it and really apply the principles and work hard, I believe, just like myself, you can begin to get well, begin to heal, and begin to feel better. Now, I have my up days and I have my down days, but mostly they're up now. Those who follow my blog will see that I sometimes feel hesitant to share when I really, really struggle, but I've continued to do so anyway and put those experiences into words, and it turns out that those tend to be the most popular posts on my blog, and I think that's because a lot of people are suffering and they can relate, and they're so excited to find out that they're not alone, that other people also go through this, and that other people are modeling ways for coping, and that is my goal. So if I do share with you, if I do get into something that's really bothering me and like having a really bad mental health day, I will not just give that to you and put that on your plate, because you have enough to deal with of your own, with your own issues, you know what I mean? So what I do is, yes, I might say, hey, here's what I'm going through, and it may be like a page worth of all of the stuff and the experiences that I'm having and how it's affecting me mentally and physically and all of those things. But I won't just leave you hanging there. I will then get into my plan on how I intend to cope, how I specifically intend to apply DBT skills to my situation so that these skills come alive and become practical tools that you can really use to change your life, as I have been doing. So again, I'm not perfect. I still have symptoms pretty much on a daily basis, but I can honestly tell you that things have gotten so much better. For example, with mood stability, my moods are so much more consistent, and when they're not, I don't totally freak out over it, because I know it's the BPD, I know it's emotion regulation issues, and I know there are some tools that I can actually use to cope and feel better and ride it out. I know about radical acceptance, which is when you just go, okay, this is the way it is right now. I'm going to accept it because it's insane for me not to, because this is what's happening right now. So as you work on the skills, you get more and more tools in your toolbox so that you can continue to feel well and feel better. Another thing is, I get messages from my readers all the time. They send me personal messages through email or through Facebook, or they send me direct messages through Twitter. So inspirational, telling me their own stories, their own struggles, their own triumphs, and they sometimes ask me how I would go about dealing with significant others or family members or friends or coworkers or bosses that don't really understand this. I get questions around, should I share my diagnosis? And for people that already know but don't take me seriously and think I'm just looking for attention, how do you cope? So when I talk about this, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, I was a social worker for a while, but really I'm just a peer giving my own opinion of how I would go about and do things. So be sure, anything that I say, I just have to give a disclaimer because of the world we live in, obviously. Take it with a grain of salt. Check with your psychiatrist or therapist before trying anything. This is not a substitute or from real medical care or therapy, and nothing I say is intended to treat, diagnose, or cure any illness or condition. I'm simply sharing my own experience, my own viewpoints and opinions, and that's it. But in doing so, and in being honest, and in wearing my heart on my sleeve, and being really vulnerable and sharing, I've received messages of how much that has been helpful to people. So that really motivates me to continue doing it. Also, when you take the time to visit a sponsor on my blog, that also motivates me to continue doing it, because when you check them out, maybe you'll find a resource that you need and something that can be really helpful to you, because there are lots of people out there trying to help us, people that are dealing with this. And I get a pocket change kicked my way every time somebody does check out one of those, and a little bit here, a little bit there, and it gets me excited. So I continue to look at that, and it's already justified for me to do this because it is helping people, and I find it therapeutic for myself, but that's like an added bonus that I really enjoy. So thank you for doing that as well once in a while if it's relevant to you and you're interested. So no pressure. So I've gone on and on quite a bit, and I'm a little bit nervous about you guys seeing my face. I don't know how you pictured me, or if you did at all, or what you're going to think about this whole thing of me coming out to this level. You already know my name is Debbie. Now you know what I look like. But the point of it is not about me and, oh, look at me, I'm wonderful, or whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of silly. It's just about really creating something as an adjunct to the written blog. So, for example, if you need help with DBT worksheets, if we get enough requests for the same worksheet, I can share my screen with you and bring up the sheet and describe it as I'm going along, so we'll have that visual. That'll make it a little bit easier. And there are some things that are just easier to communicate by video. And also, I may share other parts of myself, because you know what? We're more than our diagnosis. So I want to model that as well. I want to show you when I get excited about some makeup that I got at the store, or something that I'm reading, or something that's going on out in the world, So it doesn't have to all be about illness 24/7, because we are complete and whole people, and the diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, as misunderstood and feared as it is because people don't understand and it doesn't clearly describe that we actually have emotion regulation disorder, it's not all of who we are. It's just a part of who we are, and it's something that we have to cope with and learn to live with and deal with, so that we can create a life worth living, as Dr. Marsha Linehan would say. So thank you for joining me. I look forward to connecting with you guys. Have fun looking around at my blog. I try to generate fresh material for you as often as I can. Hope you're enjoying that. I will see you there, and on Facebook and Twitter, where I'll announce if there's a new video that comes out or anything like that. So thank you for listening to me go on and on for quite some time now. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.